I'm Lainey.
And I'm Laura Beth.
And we are Steel Magnolias, two sisters who love family, traditions, and all things Southern. We've got plenty of room at our table, so pull up a chair.
Hi, Laura Beth.
Hi, Lainey. Well,
Good to be at the table with you.
It is, and I've been at the table with family this weekend. The nephews are in town.
Yes.
On my husband's side, and I have a story to share.
Oh, do share. I love these stories.
So we wanted to sit down to eat our dinner last night, and my husband
At your house.
Yep, my husband had smoked some pork
Yum.
on the big green egg, and so we were just, getting everything ready, and I just kind of thought, you know what? These boys are 13, 15, and 17, and like many boys and girls that age, they don't do a lot of table setting, right?
Okay.
Like in terms
Right.
of...
Grab something as you go to soccer practice
Right.
or whatever.
Or sit at the table, but there wasn't a setting that was already sitting there for you. And so I said, okay, boys, $20 for whoever can put this fork, knife, and spoon in the right position. Extra $5 if you put the knife in the right direction.
Come on.
So challenge accepted.
Okay. All three of them are in.
Yes.
At trying.
It was so fun watching them try and copy each other and
Love it.
come up with what they were going to be as their...
Now, do they have phones where they could look something up? Or...
I sprung it pretty fast.
Okay.
So I had, I was waving a $20 bill around as I was
it.
putting forks in. I didn't do the 2 forks.
Sure, yeah.
I literally only had
One fork,
single,
one knife, one spoon.
Yeah.
One plate.
And 17-year-old nephew Luke got not only the $20, but he even had his knife in the...
Come on.
So I was very, very proud. But,
And now they've all three learned it.
I think, who knows if they... But I thought of something after the fact that would have been helpful for them to remember it. And I've never thought of this before, but I think it makes sense. We read left to right.
Uh-huh.
So if you think of your place setting left to right, it goes alphabetical. Have we talked... I don't think we've said that before. So
We talked about fork.
Yeah.
The F
but
being the fork.
if you
the
don't
O being the
remember
plate.
that...
Okay.
And the R in the middle
It's
of there
kinda
is kind of
quirky,
weird
but
because
yeah.
there's no R.
Right.
But yeah, if you think of fork, far left, then you've got your plate, and then K, knife, S, spoon.
Okay.
It goes alphabetical, left
Just
to right.
for that basic setting. You're
Yeah.
right.
So anyway,
That's a fun game.
I was very proud of them. Very hopeful that
Maybe it'll stick.
it'll stick. So anyway,
That's so cute. Well, I like our topic today.
me too.
I was thinking through, actually here in Tennessee, we've had couple mild days.
so mild.
But typically, 4th of July is coming. It's usually blazing hot.
yes,
And typically for 4th of July, we're all going to gatherings.
yeah,
Not so much this year in the sense of gatherings are either not happening or smaller.
right,
But if you are going to a gathering, you're often asked to bring a dish.
yeah.
So in the heat, bringing something to a potluck, we thought it would be a great time to talk about ambrosia, Jello salads, and Icebox desserts.
So good. This was your idea, so this was very timely. And
I just think it's the right time.
it is. So when I first sat down to research this, let's start with ambrosia. I was like, wait, do I look under salads or desserts? I didn't know.
Well, that's a good question. In the South, we call many things salads.
So here I sit with my junior league cookbook from Charleston that I've referenced several times on this podcast. The Charleston Receipts Repeats. It's under salads.
Okay.
So if you're not familiar with ambrosia, it is primarily, I didn't like it as a kid. I mean, and that's shocking because I love marshmallows.
Yes, you did. And did as a kid for sure.
And
it's fruit and
Yeah.
creamy.
so most ambrosia recipes contain canned or fresh pineapple, canned mandarin orange slices or
Right.
fresh orange slices, miniature marshmallows, and coconut.
Yeah, so I'm out because I love the flavor of coconut, but I don't like the texture of coconut. And I don't like marshmallows. So I
love
personally
both of
am
those
out
things.
on Ambrosia. But I love a good Jello salad, so I'll share on some of those in a minute.
Okay. Well,
But Ambrosia is very popular to have as a salad, which
it
is funny. 'Cause...
It even means, the meaning ambrosia is the food of the gods.
Oh.
Yeah. So, and it also can mean just something especially delicious to taste or smell.
How funny.
So
general.
I did want to, I want to mention when we were talking marshmallows, we're talking miniature marshmallows. And
Right.
a lot of times it's the pastel color.
You do see that.
Marshmallows.
You do see that.
Like the
in
light
these a lot.
pastel green or light pastel pink.
Uh-huh.
I don't even know if I see those in stores very much anymore. But you might also see the ambrosia with pecans.
Yes.
Or maraschino cherries.
Or both.
Yeah. So this has been around for a long time, though. I found someone referencing an 1867 cookbook entitled Dixie Cookery, or How I Managed My Table for 12 Years, which they were saying was, according to them, the first instance of ambrosia appearing in a cookbook.
Okay.
So
that's a long time ago for our country.
yeah. So, in this recipe, you're grating the white part of the coconut. You're sweetening with a little sugar, placing in a glass bowl. You're alternating layers of pulped oranges and coconut. And they would usually serve it like in an ice cream plate or like a saucer.
Okay.
It is pretty. So,
Well, so that was one of the things I wanted to mention about these, even the Jello salads and these different ones. They can be so pretty when you take them to something.
Yes.
If you have like a trifle dish, which I do have a trifle dish that has that little stand on it, it just looks so pretty in there. And again, when it's hot, it just feels wonderful to have something that's cool.
Yeah.
Refrigerated.
Yeah.
And then, time is right.
And funny enough, though, ambrosia is also popular in the South at Christmas time.
Yeah.
So, but I think it's, to your point about it being pretty, I think it's the luxuriousness of it
it's
that makes it feel like...
It's like kind of a, very, I don't know, like just
picturesque,
yes.
really. And
extravagant ingredients, too. It's not just,
And if you're going for fresh ingredients, fall would be typically like in Florida where they're getting a lot of oranges harvested, so they would be prime in like the Christmas time
to make
you wanted
it
fresh Florida oranges. And we've talked on the podcast before, back in the day it seemed like an orange in your Christmas stocking
was a big deal.
A big treat.
So can you imagine having something like this that had all those wonderful
so that's another reason why
ingredients.
at Christmas time, if you're going to use oranges, that makes it relevant to do at that time. But I like it now, but I don't see it a whole lot at potlucks. Yes, but even at potlucks, it's only if you've got kind of some older generations around. I don't think
that's true. You don't hear of young people making ambrosia. It is an older recipe.
Yeah.
Well, I am a fan of Jello salads.
Yes, you are.
That doesn't necessarily mean Jello as I think of like the see-through color.
Yeah,
it's just in this recipe,
right?
But I love these because again, they're cool. Mm-hmm. They're soft, like they just are nice for. This is even something to think about making if you have somebody that's elderly or somebody that's sick. That needs soft foods.
Again,
these are
brilliant.
fabulous.
This is so brilliant to think about people in recovery.
It is such a good thing to bring somebody because soft foods are, just easier.
Yes,
and you can do different things with even what you have.
That's brilliant.
So I love the Jello salads. One of my favorite ones I thought I would start with talking about is cherry fluff.
Yeah.
So cherry fluff is so easy. 4 ingredients.
Yeah.
You just need a can of that cherry pie filling
yes.
mix. 21-ounce can.
Yes.
Can. A 14-ounce can of sweetened condensed milk. A 20-ounce can of crushed pineapple.
Yeah.
You drain the juice off. And an 8-ounce container of Cool Whip.
Okay.
You literally just mix those 4 things together.
Yeah.
put it in the refrigerator for 2 hours before you serve it. And
Yeah.
it's so yummy.
Yeah. It is yummy. Have you ever seen it garnished with, do people put other things around it? Because a lot of other even cherry salads that are similar to this, the garnishes are important too.
Well, this one is creamy.
Yeah,
it's not like,
true.
when you think of like those nice cranberry congealed salads, they put a little dollop of mayonnaise or something on it. This one's different in that it's already a creamy salad. Now, if I were serving that on a little small plate, separate from a dinner plate, I would want lettuce on the bottom of it.
Okay.
Just so it's got a bed to sit on.
You're so pro, sis. I love it.
But typically when I have this, like I'm taking it to like a potluck or something like that.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to have that. It's going to go like a dollop on a plate.
Yeah. I'm thinking of more of a Bing cherry salad.
Yes.
That
I love those too.
It would, like, part of your recipe, any recipe you're going to find for that is going to include a little dollop of mayonnaise and probably some poppy seeds.
Yes. And I love those salads too.
I
Those
don't
are great
like the
too.
mayonnaise part of that.
Okay.
I don't like those paired together, so I'm good without it.
Lots of little luncheon places in the South will have
Yes.
that. The Puffy Muffin, they do that one that's just, like you said, with the little dollop of mayonnaise and the
Yes.
poppy seeds. But that's cherry fluff, the
Yes.
one that I mentioned. But you can do that with, the blueberry pie mix and make
Yes.
it blueberry fluff. Or
Yes.
there's lots of directions you could go.
And those pie fillings, because they're pie fillings, those are in the baking section.
Yeah.
Those aren't with other canned
That's
fruits.
correct.
Usually in the grocery store.
And pretty much everybody has those.
Yeah.
And I'm not set on a brand on that.
yeah.
So...
The beauty of Jello salads is you can pretty much make whatever flavor of fruit you
like. That's right.
If you're more citrus, go that way. If you
Yep.
like berries, go that way.
Yeah, it's true.
Any
There's
color,
so many directions.
I mean, if you're
true.
trying to actually match a theme, of colors,
you can find the Jello that's that color.
or bring a pop of color to your table spreads.
That's awesome.
When I was thinking about this particular topic, I had to get over this thought, because do you remember that scene in Christmas Vacation where they're sitting down to the turkey dinner? Of course, their turkey is, totally
Hilarious.
dried out. And Chevy Chase sits down to eat some of Aunt Bethany's Jello salad. He's like, Aunt Bethany, do you have a cat, or does your cat like Jello salad? I mean, there's like cat food in the salad of crazy Aunt Bethany's. Anyway, so I had to get past that image.
And of course, Cousin Eddie loves it.
Yeah.
Because he wouldn't even notice that there's cat food in there.
Yeah, so there's an orange salad, Jello salad, that I found in the Charleston cookbook. I'll try and find a link to it. It says that it's very good with a little curry.
What?
I know. So it's recommended, like you were just saying a minute ago, to serve on a platter with lettuce, fill the center with cottage cheese.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that before.
Serve with mayonnaise. Yeah, so it's called an orange salad mold.
Well, I have a recipe that I was hoping to make for today just because it sounded so good, but I didn't get it done. Creamsicle salad. Do you remember the old creamsicle?
Ooh, that sounds wonderful.
Ice cream. So good because it's like orange and
Yes.
vanilla swirl. So this one is a package of tapioca pudding, a package of vanilla pudding, and a package of orange Jello. An 8-ounce container of Cool Whip, and a 10-ounce can of mandarin oranges. That's it. That's what I'm saying. Like, this kind of stuff you literally could keep on hand.
That's exactly what
And
I was
whip it
just
up real
thinking.
quick.
You just got to go get your pantry staples. These are going to last for months.
Yep. Cool Whip's the only one that's got to go in the fridge even. I
Yeah.
mean, in the freezer.
Yeah.
Everything else could sit for a while. And anyway, very basic, thing you just whip up.
Yeah.
One thing to keep in mind if you're making something like this, they do usually need to be refrigerated for a couple of hours though. So I'm saying whip it up, but you do need like refrigeration time.
You need time. And let's go ahead and talk about a mold. You need a mold. Can we talk about that for a second?
Yeah. If you're doing, like these fluffs, they're actually not going to mold. They're like just a creamy situation that you can put in a trifle dish that would look real pretty.
Or a bowl.
Yeah. But yes, if it's like going to form, which is part of the fun of some of these, is the form. That's the way people kind of can show their pretty little mold.
If you have a bundt pan, it could work. Or if you don't have a bundt pan and you're just wanting something specifically for this, just look up ring mold.
Yeah.
That's how it would be listed. Or sometimes I've seen it called a fluted cake pan.
Okay. Yeah.
There are some really pretty ones on Amazon for under $15.
Okay.
And they have those almost like, I don't know, diamond-like shapes.
All
or like
different shapes.
Real geometric
Yes.
looking. But when they come out and they're just...
It is lovely.
So pretty. So, yeah, real intricate designs. But
so that's why these kind of things got real popular at luncheons and showers and things where people were like showing off their food. It wasn't just about yummy. It was about lovely.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And just pay attention, I would say, to any recipe you're following on removing the mold from the pan. Like, don't rush that step because you are going to have to probably fill a bowl with like some warm water when you first place the mold in it and then
get it loose.
Yeah. Then you'll be like dipping the exterior out and then, kind of shaking some water off. Yeah. Maybe I'll find one of those. Yeah. So yeah, I was going to say, don't rush the final step either.
After you've got this lovely thing in a form.
Yeah.
Well, I have the old school, I bought it at a yard sale, the old school Tupperware green mold. Do you know what I'm talking about? It was like a minty green color.
Yes.
I got one of those.
Where did you get it?
At a yard sale.
Perfect.
Mom used to have that exact one and had gotten rid of it. And I was like, oh, I wish I had that. And I'm not even kidding. Like within a month, I found one at a yard sale. I was like, yes.
That's so fun. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about because she had it.
She used it a good bit in the day. Well, one of the most popular of these Jello salads in the South that I know of is a lime salad.
Yes.
And so, funny enough, I had looked up a recipe of one that I remembered. Like, I was thinking of the ingredients I remembered being in it.
Yeah.
And then we had a listener, Mary Ann, that put up her mother's version. And then Mom gave me the one that she made.
She did? Okay. Cool.
So I've got 3 different ones that are very, they're just different.
Yeah.
But the first 2 are real similar, the one Mom did and the one I was remembering.
Mm-hmm.
And then Mary Ann's is a little different. But we can talk. You want to just talk about lime salads?
Yeah, do that. And I have a funny variation of a lime Jello salad that I'll throw in at the end of your list.
Fun. Well, now this is one I like, and it does have marshmallows.
Yeah,
but you're melting the marshmallows.
Yes.
So that's different.
Do you forget that they're in there then?
Well, it's just not that chewy like consistency because it's kind of a consistency thing it's what I don't like. So it's because it's just making it sweet. Really, it's just creamy sweetness.
Yeah.
But this recipe is crushed pineapple, lime gelatin, water, obviously, to make the gelatin, 2 packages of 3-ounce cream cheese.
Okay.
So the small. Chopped walnuts, miniature marshmallows, and heavy whipping cream that's been whipped.
Okay.
So we can just put up the recipe.
Yeah. Which one is that?
That is the one I had looked up that came from Taste of Home.
That's the one you remembered. Okay.
And it comes from a lady named Susan Ormond in Jamestown, North Carolina. But yeah, that's the one that I had in my head that I remembered. Yeah. And the one Mom had was basically the same. It had mayonnaise as well.
Okay.
Whereas this one didn't have that.
Right.
Other than that, it was the same.
Mayonnaise in it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I was wondering if it was for topping.
Yeah, in it. And so that was pretty much the same one. And then Mary Ann Murphy's mom's lime salad is different because it is the lime jello, the crushed pineapple, the marshmallows, and then it has a small carton of cottage cheese.
Oh, okay.
And whipping cream or carnation milk. So
that's fun.
So that one's got the cottage cheese in it. Yeah, and she did put that up on our Facebook group page.
She did.
So if you are in that group, you've already seen that one. But this is kind of just one of those people have memories of, older generations making this lime salad, and it is just pretty and lovely. So
and I found one that I'll put in the show notes a link to as well. It's a 7-Up lime Jello salad.
Oh,
so you throw some 7-Up in there.
That's fun.
And I thought that might bring, I don't know, would that bring like kind of a tartness or just something
That's interesting.
else?
I wonder what it doesn't have in it, like what it's taking out and putting that in for, if there's a different liquid, like does it have less milk or cream or something?
I'll have to look it up and see. But yeah.
That's fun.
That was just on a blog that I found.
Well, we're giving y'all all kinds of ideas of things you can make. Well, I wanted to mention another gelatin situation that I'm curious to know if you have heard of. Aspic. Do you know aspic?
Aspic, no.
Look in your Charleston receipts and see if you see any aspic. Because
Okay.
I can almost guarantee they're going to have some aspic in that old...
Spell it for me.
ASPIC.
Okay. Oh, so real quick, I just went back to the 7-Up. So it has water, lime Jello, cream cheese, 7-Up, crushed pineapple. What's Dream Whip? Have you ever heard of Dream Whip?
I'm assuming it's a Cool Whip kind of a thing?
That's it.
Okay. So it's using 7-Up instead of cream.
Yeah. Okay, Aspic.
ASPIC. I can almost guarantee you that cookbook's going to have some in there. So I'm going to give a definition. Aspic is a dish in which ingredients are set into a gelatin made from a meat stock or consommé. Consommé?
A meat stock?
Well, the one I'm going to talk about isn't a meat stock.
Okay.
But it is a savory. So these are often savory.
Okay.
So this one is, and it also went on to say non-savory sweet dishes, often made with commercial gelatin mixes without stock, are usually called Jello salads.
Okay, yeah.
So this is going to be something you, in a form, you would put in a mold with gelatin that's going to set.
Okay.
But it's savory.
Interesting. So should I look under salads? I don't even know where to look.
Well, as I talk, you just look under.
Okay.
Yeah, I would think it would be under salad.
Okay.
I would think that would be right. Or maybe even, does it have in the back where you could look up the word?
No.
Okay. Well, in the South, there is a popular dish, or used to be a popular dish, called tomato aspic.
Okay.
And I had already planned on mentioning this, and one of our listeners, Laura, had said, I hope you're going to have a conversation on tomato aspic. So here we go. Tomato aspic is a spicy molded jelly served with a dollop of mayonnaise. It starts with tomato juice seasoned with a secret blend of spices, then mixed with finely diced onions, celery, and unflavored gelatin before being put into molds and chilled. So to me, it's basically like, I thought this is basically a gelatin Bloody Mary.
That is exactly what it is. I'm making a face because I don't like Bloody Marys.
I don't like Bloody Marys, and so this is definitely not something I would enjoy.
That is so interesting, though.
But I went on to read that they often include many different things: Worcestershire, Tabasco, horseradish, celery, stuffed olives, avocado, or even artichoke hearts, or even shrimp.
Oh, wow.
So I was thinking, this is like full-blown Bloody Mary. You know how you'll see people make Bloody Marys with all kinds of Worcestershire or Tabasco, and they go all these different spicy directions.
Oh, yeah, and they'll get real fancy and put like a skewer of shrimp or something crazy.
All kinds of things. And I was like, this is basically the gelatin version.
Wow.
Of a Bloody Mary. So as I continued reading about this, there's a restaurant in Atlanta. It's been open since 1927 called The Colonnade.
Okay.
I was reading an article, it's actually from 2016, that said they serve 300 to 400 orders of tomato aspic each week.
Oh my gosh.
So it's definitely popular at this particular restaurant. Anyway, I just thought it was funny because I think as I was reading, it sounds like just what we were talking about. They became popular because people wanted to show off their mold.
That's right.
And it looks real pretty because it's red.
Yes.
And apparently they were real popular at Christmas just like you said, because it's green lettuce with that red on, sometimes on a silver platter or something. So it looked so Christmassy.
That is so funny.
And then I found an article that Southern Living had done on reasons Southerners love tomato aspic.
Oh.
So here's some of their reasons. The beautiful color, especially at Christmas. A throwback comfort food. And it said that it was once a required dish at ladies' luncheons and funerals.
Oh, okay.
Still on many drugstore lunch counter menus, along with deviled eggs and banana pudding.
Well, I want to try it just because it
Just to
sounds
know.
interesting enough.
Well,
Yeah.
I would be interested to know people's thoughts on tomato aspic.
Yeah.
Now, there's other aspics that I don't even think I could discuss on the podcast because I gag too easy, but there's ones that include meat and meat parts and
Why? Yeah.
that kind of thing.
That's
So
not
we won't get into that.
That's not for today's fluff and molds discussion.
Fluff and sweetness talk, but I just didn't want to overlook the tomato aspect.
That's interesting. I'm so glad you mentioned that. We have a third category of nice, cool foods to mention
for your summer gatherings or just for your family. Yeah.
Icebox desserts. The icebox meaning basically the refrigerator back in the day.
Yeah, that's right.
So, and that is why it's named Icebox, is because the icebox is going to do most of the work.
Yeah,
here.
little or no baking, which is the beauty in the South.
Right.
You don't want to heat the whole house up by baking a pie.
Ideal for Southerners that would still like to have desserts, but they are not wanting the heat of baking. Exactly. So, and ice was big business also back in the day.
Yeah.
So it was funny. I don't ever really have to buy ice because I've got an ice maker, like probably every person listening to this. But we were doing something in a cooler, so I bought some ice this past week, and for a second I was thinking, this is so cheap. This is, I think it was like $2.50, $2.99 for a pretty big
bag.
10-pound bag of ice. And I was thinking, I don't know, it just seems so cheap considering it's kept in this massive cooler outside the gas station. But then I started thinking about it and I was going,
just frozen
it's
water.
just frozen water. All they had to put together was the plastic bag, really.
Right. That's right.
So, but I just...
Because we're so blessed that we live where there's clean water.
Yeah.
I mean, let's don't even take that for granted.
Yes.
Clean water and refrigeration.
Yes.
Humongous.
So you may have heard of Icebox pies, Icebox cakes, cookies. All of those have variations that can be done in Icebox form. I loved that also, again, on our Facebook group, was it Christina? Yeah, she put up an easy lemon Icebox pie recipe.
Looks so good.
And easy, right?
I mean, this was the kind of thing, thank you so much for this, Christina, because this is almost like the kind of thing you should always have this stuff on hand in the summer in case you want to put something together fairly quickly.
Yeah.
Again, some refrigeration time needed, but in fact 4 hours of refrigeration time, so that, or freezer time, so that's important to think of. But it's super easy as far as the ingredient list.
4 ingredients: cream cheese, lemon juice, a prepared pie crust, and a can of sweetened condensed milk, right?
Yep.
So pretty much lemon takes the back seat. It's all, I just realized that. It's all
not really. I mean, you're using like fresh lemon juice.
Well, that's true.
And lemon zest on the top if you're a recommendation,
pro,
which you should, because that makes such a difference. But this looks so good.
So I think lemon is a very popular flavor of Icebox pie.
Oh,
Wouldn't you say that?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I would say after that would be cherry. Cherry would also be a pretty common flavor.
Chocolate.
Yeah. So then, we also had another Icebox.
Yeah, Beth
pie.
Lowe. Thank you, Christina Engelman and Beth Lowe, for these comments. Beth gave us a Reese's peanut butter chocolate Icebox cake.
Yum.
Also in the Facebook podcast group. And this one looks wonderful. I will say it has a lot of ingredients, though. So this one's not a throw it together. It doesn't look like difficult steps.
Right.
It's just more steps.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to list all the ingredients, but it is like peanut butter chocolate goodness.
It's Pinterest worthy, probably.
Absolutely.
As well.
It is beautiful, the picture. With Reese's crumbled on the top. I mean, if you're a peanut butter lover like me, this is the glory.
It is. Yeah, it sounds wonderful.
So check those out on that podcast group.
So if you're doing so those are some pies. If you're doing an Icebox cake, those would be constructed typically by layering some like crumbled cookies, whipped cream, sweetened condensed milk, or like some sort of a
Whipped up.
custard.
Mm-hmm.
Then you would refrigerate until the cookies soften into almost like a cake-like consistency, and all the flavors of the dessert kind of meld together.
Well, this Reese's one actually is a icebox cake.
Oh, it is.
Because it's
I was
a
thinking it was
layered
a pie.
cookie thing.
That's right. Okay.
But the lemon was the icebox pie.
Well, and then icebox cake evolved into icebox cookies and into.
Now, I've never seen that.
You haven't?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Well, and in today's refrigerator cookie recipes, I've seen some icebox cookies that are baked.
Oh.
So I think that it's getting the icebox name because you can freeze or refrigerate the dough for so long.
Gotcha. That's not what I'm thinking of.
I know. But I think it's something that people liked to have on hand.
So you quickly can
so
bake
you can
it.
quickly bake
Well, I
some
get
fresh
that,
cookies.
but that's not what I'm thinking of as icebox dessert.
Yeah. So the dough is chilled until firm and can be, kept in the fridge or frozen.
These usually have like a cookie or a graham cracker crust, which I also really enjoy. And they usually have pudding, whipped cream, condensed milk, something creamy like that. I was also wanting to mention sometimes people get creative with the cookie that they use as the crust.
Okay.
Using vanilla wafers.
Yeah, that's
or
smart.
those wonderful Biscoff, is that how you say it?
Oh, my
Cookies.
gosh,
Have you
those
ever
are-
had a crust that's made of that?
No, those are the ones they serve on airplanes
Yes.
sometimes.
My Lord.
Yum.
Some people use ginger snaps or something like that,
good.
crumbled up. And I've even seen a version of, that wonderful strawberry salad
Yes.
that has the pretzel crust.
Strawberry pretzel salad.
There's a strawberry pretzel pie where it's crumbled pretzels as the
Oh.
crust. So there's so many directions that you can go with these. But anyway, I love these cold
I know.
pies.
It's, again, like we said at the beginning, it's so right for these hot summer months. Not just because you don't want to heat up your house, but
You're hot.
you're hot.
So
stinking
why
hot.
not have
so
some whipped cream?
if we're going to
Goodness.
sit on the porch, let's have something cool to eat.
Well, I've mentioned this before on this podcast, but I can't talk about icebox desserts without mentioning one you can just go buy at the grocery if you don't even want to cook at all.
Okay.
That Edwards key
Yes.
lime pie
Amen.
is
Yes.
so good.
Yes, it is.
I mean, it's better than some key lime pies I've gotten as a dessert at a restaurant.
Mm-hmm. It
It's
really is.
really good.
Yeah.
So if you're wanting to just pick something up on your way to something, it'll already be cold. It'll already be done.
So it's in the freezer section?
It's in the freezer section.
And do
I
they...
think they do different ones, but I just always go key lime.
That's
when I
exactly
go
what I was
Edwards.
about to ask you. Have you had any other flavors? No, because we've never gone wrong with key lime.
Why
so-
bother? I know I've tried Marie Callender's key lime pie. Not as good, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I think I did try an Edwards chocolate something, and it was fine, but it wasn't like, whoa. Like the
Well,
key
if we're
lime.
going to touch on frozen pies, since you've opened the can, we
Sorry.
might as well say the major party foul we've had happen twice now.
Oh, my Lord. Is somebody bringing a pie that has to bake for 4 hours?
First of all, thaw.
Oh, yeah.
It was
thaw.
like thaw for 2, bake for 2, I think.
Oh, and then cool for 1 or something. I mean, we're talking about a 5-hour ordeal.
It was way beyond, even if we started at the moment that people got there, way beyond the hours that we had to.
So keep that in mind if you're bringing something.
Yeah.
That's not helpful at all to your host. That's stressful
You basically just brought a host gift.
for a
Right.
later date because that's not happening at today's event. And now the poor hostess is stressed out because she was counting on your pie.
Let our faux pas be your wins.
That's
for,
right.
For a future gathering.
That's right.
Anyway. Well, that was a good little
I know.
summary of
Except
some
I'm hungry.
cool
Thanks
desserts.
a lot.
I
Right.
know.
I need creamsicle salad.
Yes. Well, if you are enjoying our podcast, I'll give a little plug for our ongoing request for reviews, and that's something that helps people find us.
I don't understand algorithms, but
you understand searches.
I do.
And so a lot of searches use words that people put into reviews. And so if you enjoy this podcast, it would be helpful, even if it's not Apple Podcasts that you listen to us through. If there's another
Spotify
app that
Google
you're
Play.
Listening through that has a review option, if you could do that, it would only help. So.
Doesn't have to be long. Just give us a good review, please.
Yes. All right. Y'all go make something cold.
And enjoy it with your little gathering.
Yes. Have a good week.
Happy 4th of July.
And peace be with you.
And also with y'all.